Hello, Dreaming Spanish community. My name is Brian. I'm the guy that keeps doing the Costa Rica updates, and here's another one for you. I have about 4 days before I leave, and I think I've pretty much got a grasp on where I am at 300 hours of Spanish learning. So I'm going to do a little background here. I'm going to try to go quick because I've already tried filming this 3 times, and every time it's like 15 minutes long. And so I'm going to try not to ramble this time. I'm going to try to go quick. So first, let me just say I'm not a great speaker. I don't upload videos often, so if this doesn't sound great or I ramble too much, I apologize. I am here in Costa Rica still. Here's kind of the view we got. I'm at the hotel. So basically, just a little background. I don't have outside Spanish learning, okay? I did not take Spanish in high school. I actually dropped out of high school twice, really early. And I did not grow up in a Spanish-speaking household. My dad was deported when I was like 2 years old, and my mother doesn't speak a lick of English, or a lick of Spanish. So no growing up in a Spanish-speaking household and no formal Spanish learning. Before Dreaming Spanish, I did listen to Paul Noble's audiobook. It was really good. I think it gives you a great basis, and it doesn't require you to actually like sit down and write and memorize anything. He just gets you to memorize it, just like kind of Dreaming Spanish does. So anyone at that super beginner level, I would recommend Paul Noble's book. But if you already got hours in Dreaming Spanish, you might as well just keep rocking there. I don't have experience without starting with Paul Noble's book, but I don't think it makes a huge difference. But it's a good baseline if anybody's interested. So where am I? Just so everybody knows, last time I've come here 3 times. I decided to meet my dad when I was 30 years old. There's a big story behind that. You can read it in my other posts, but I think if I get into it, it rambles on too much. So basically, I decided to meet my dad at 30 years old. I had met him one time before at 18, but we didn't really connect because I was a very sheltered, kind of nervous kid. So at 30 years old, decided to try again. We met, and it went great. And I've tried visiting here 3 times. Okay, and all 3 times I've been wanting to learn Spanish, but I wasn't that hardcore about it. I would do an hour one day, 30 minutes the next day, miss the next 3 days, do 1 hour, right? Do 10 minutes the next day. I wasn't very hardcore about learning the Spanish. And finally, after my last trip here, my 3rd trip, this is the 4th right now, my 3rd trip here, I finally just go, I am getting so tired of sitting in the corner, having everyone smile at me, everyone say something, someone say something to my dad so he can say something to me. I was just getting so tired of it. So I decided to really buckle down. And right when I got back from my 3rd trip, I decided to start banging out 4 hours a day of Dreaming Spanish. Now, that was a difficult task because at the time, I wasn't a full believer in Dreaming Spanish. I had gone from super beginner to beginner already. I think I was about 60 hours. The beginner was difficult. I felt like the jump from super beginner to beginner was difficult. And I wasn't 100% convinced that this was the way to go, but I would read on Reddit. I would try to read testimonials. And to be honest, there's not that many testimonials. You can find them. You can definitely find them. So they're out there, and that's what got me to keep going with the Dreaming Spanish. But there's not many testimonials, and that's why I'm trying to be so thorough with mine. It's not for selfish interest. I don't need upvotes on Reddit, and I'm kind of scared to break my anonymity. Oh, that's a tough word. That's tougher than Spanish. Anonymity with this video. But I really feel like we need really good testimonials because I really believe in this method of learning now, and I love it, and I love what Pablo's doing, but we need more testimonials. We need more people who are having success out there posting about it, talking about their journey, talking about how scared they were. I've been so scared throughout the whole process because you run into so many times where you're like, am I learning? Is anything getting in? Like, I don't feel like it is. And then 20 hours later, you realize, oh, it is getting in. So we need these testimonials, and that's why I'm trying to do them so thorough. So basically, just to break down the trip, some of you have read my other posts, probably know how I've been doing, but I'm just going to start from the beginning. I get out of the airport here in San Jose, Costa Rica, or in San Jose, Costa Rica. I'm not there now. I'm in Gracia. But yes, San Jose, Costa Rica, I get to the airport, and my Uber driver comes. And normally I don't take an Uber. My dad picks me up, and I normally don't go anywhere without people who don't speak Spanish because I don't feel comfortable by myself and walking around and stuff. I'm just a nervous guy. I'm very outgoing now, but not when I feel like I can't even speak. So last time I came here, I could not speak a word. And last time I came here, if I spoke to someone a word, if I said something to them, and they repeated it back to like confirm what I said, I wouldn't even understand what they're saying. I'd have no clue what they just said, even though I just said it, because that's how hard it was for me to comprehend what people were saying. So this trip, I get in the Uber, I put my luggage in the trunk, I put my luggage in the back seat. This lady had a very small car. She was a great lady. She had a small car, and I'm going to pop this thing open because my mouth's dry. It's like my third time trying to make this video. We get in the car. I'm riding shotgun because my luggage is taking up the rest of the car. I tell her right off the rip, no hablo español, okay? But I decided to kind of give it a shot because she kept trying to she kept like turning up the music, turning back down and saying something. So I decided to give it a shot. And I say to her what I now call my catchphrase. This is my catchphrase. This is the first thing I say to everybody when I meet someone here in Costa Rica. I say, no hablo español, pero si tú hablas muy despacio y muy fuerte, puedo entender. For those of you who don't know what that means, I'm saying I don't speak Spanish. But if you speak very slow and very clearly, I can understand. Okay? Fuerte, strong. Strong is kind of like clearly. So I said that to her, and from then on, she spoke to me the whole ride. For 25 minutes, she's speaking to me the whole ride. I'm speaking to her. We're having a full-blown conversation. I'm telling her how I met my dad at 30 years old, all this stuff, and I'm telling it all in Spanish. She didn't speak one lick of English, and it went fantastic. So from there, I get this little high, right? Like this excitement. I'm like, wow, I cannot believe that. Like literally last time, I would have had to sit in this Uber dead silent. This time, I'm having a full-blown conversation. Crazy, okay? So I get to my dad's house. It's really late at night. Go to bed. Wake up the next day. And I'm a little nervous to try speaking Spanish to him and his girlfriend. But eventually I do. We eat breakfast, and then I get the cojones to speak to him. And I start speaking to him, and then he starts speaking to me in Spanish, and we had a full-blown conversation in Spanish. And now we pretty much go half in Spanish, half in English. Half the time he's just speaking to me in Spanish, half the time he's speaking to me in English. I've also had multiple conversations with tons of other people, so many conversations about taking cars from New York and selling them in Costa Rica, complicated things that Pablo's never spoken about in a video, but I can understand. Just tons of conversations I've had. This video's already getting long. So yeah, I've had so many different conversations about so many different things with so many different people. And there's a lot of tricks to it. Like sometimes you won't know a word, right? Like I won't know the word, but I know the opposite of the word. So I can say it's not the opposite or something, right? Or for instance, yesterday I was trying to explain to my dad's girlfriend's son the rules of basketball. He's really interested in it. And I'm trying to explain to him the rules of basketball, but I don't know the word for a team, right? I don't know the word for team. And maybe I should. And I think he told me, but I don't remember now. But I was able to say, ¿cuál es la palabra por el grupo de jugadores? What is the word for a group of players? And then he can tell me, and I can go, sí, esto. I can say, yes, that's what I'm telling you. This happens all the time. So I can always get my point across. I can always conversate with people now. I can definitely understand way more than I can speak. I thought about making a video where I speak in Spanish for you guys, but I'm a little nervous about that because I don't want anyone to be discouraged. I don't think I speak that well. I don't. I barely speak well in English. So I don't speak that well in Spanish, but I can get the point across every single time. I can have full-blown conversations with people, and they can have full-blown conversations with me, as long as they speak slowly and clearly, which everyone will if you ask them, because they're just excited that you're trying. So, yeah, it's been a great trip. I don't think I have any more to add there. Maybe I'll try making a video in Spanish so you guys can kind of see where I sound like Spanish-wise. I am at 300 hours when I get back to New York. I'm going to start grinding again to try to get to 600 before I get back here. I like to come every 2.5 months if I can now, because I want to spend as much time with my dad. He's an old guy. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. It's been a great trip. I can have full-blown conversations with people. I don't speak the greatest. Pablo's roadmap is very accurate. When other people are talking in Spanish to each other, I don't understand a lick of what they're saying most of the time. Sometimes I'll get something, but most of the time I don't understand. They're just speaking way too fast. Another really great thing is when people speak, sometimes they try to use short sentences when they think you don't know Spanish. That actually is like a detriment. I try to tell them to speak in long sentences, because what they'll do is they'll stop at a word that they think you don't know. And if you know it, that's no big deal. But if you don't know it, well, now you have to go, oh, no, I don't know what that means. Whereas if they just kept going, just like a Dreaming Spanish video, you'll understand the word in context. So that can be a little challenging when someone really is trying to dumb it down for you. But yeah, so far, full-blown conversations. Just have heart, guys. Go right through it. Good luck to everyone on their journey. I'll keep, if something really big happens, different that I feel is worth updating you guys about, I will. But I have 4 more days here. I think I know exactly where I'm at in the process, and this video should be a good explanation of where I'm at. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry if this is long and dribbled out and boring. I apologize. I'm not a great speaker. So have a great day, guys. And thank you to all of you who are ahead of me that, really gave me the confidence to keep going and trusting the process. And I'm hoping that I'm giving some of you guys who are below my level, confidence and keep going, because I'm telling you, the process works no matter how many times you get scared, no matter how many times it's not working. Just keep going. And all I do is Dreaming Spanish content. I don't ever do anything outside the platform. So good luck, guys. Have a great day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my trip, and I hope that you guys are getting something out of these videos. Adios.